the accommodations that are very instinctive, I think, and can be paradoxically not the most helpful thing to our children or our family members. Can you talk about, enabling is a word that's thrown around a whole lot, but often these disorders call for us. It feels like we have this real pull to reassure our children and to just tell them everything's okay. Let me clear the way. Let me clear the obstacles. Let me clear the challenges so that you are happy. I often, parents will say, "Well, I just want them to be happy," and I try to reframe it and say, what we're really looking for is contentment that hopefully predominates and challenge and a feeling that there's purpose. Happiness, it's a thing that's wonderful and to experience joy, but really it's about contentment and feeling like your purpose on this earth, is fulfilled and aligns with your values. Can you talk about enabling, or how do you frame what we impulsively do as parents with a
Yeah,
sick child?
enabling is a buzzword, certainly, and it's definitely overused, overthrown,
Yeah.
and misunderstood a little bit. But it is a thing, and it's a huge
Yes.
barrier into getting better and spacing yourself from loved ones.
Yes. Why is
I
that? Yeah. Why
yeah,
do we?
I usually use reassurance more
Yes.
than I use the term reassurance more than enabling,
I think
because
it's great. Yeah.
we live in a society that we're addicted to reassurance.
Oh yes. We need to
Addicted to
know that we're
reassurance.
doing we're
If we don't,
doing the best thing.
if we're not feeling good looking, you take a selfie, you put it online, and you want to get reassured. You look good, look, you look hot, so on and so forth. Everything is reassurance, and it leaves. Reassurance is, I don't have a number, but 90% external. It's so hard for us to reassure
Yes.
ourselves.
Right.
We're constantly seeking it. So a parent, and it's interesting doing this so long. I've worked with so many different generations, and I've seen the patterns of parenting change wildly, change
Yes.
wildly.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing a lot of younger parents now where reassurance is everything. Absolutely everything. You had a bad day at school today. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Tomorrow will be a better day. Tomorrow will be a better day. And on paper, a little
And
bit here and
removing
there, that's fine.
obstacles, being like,
Yeah,
how can I fix your bad day tomorrow?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What can we do? Let's go out. And it's
Let's talk
fine.
to the principal, let's talk to the teacher, let's remove those obstacles so you're not struggling.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not here to tell someone not to be a bad parent or not to love your parent or not even to pick up your kid if they fall down and they're crying. I'm not saying that. There's a time and a place for reassurance. But sometimes instead of just dropping reassurance, which is the easy way out, by the way, you say, tough day, say more.
Ah,
Let's talk
tell me
about it.
about that. Right.
Talk about it. Oh, that kid hurt your feelings or that coworker was mean to you? Talk about it. Not,
Yeah.
oh my God, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Right. Can we fix it? Yes.
There's nothing proactive about reassurance. It is a reaction. The proactive thing is, let's make sure it doesn't happen again. Let's talk about it. And also, if you say tomorrow's going to be a better day and it's not, you're straight up lying to your kid.
It's
It's
true.
it's like when a doctor tells a kid, "Oh, it's not going to hurt." Well, no, of
Oh
course it's going to
God, we'd
hurt.
love to say like you'll feel a little discomfort, which is a bold lie. It
Yeah.
hurts. Like it's just dumb.
Yeah, that reassurance is just a quick lie to get that kid to shut up so they can give him a shot.
Yes. Or even just, it is what the impulse is when our child is like, I don't want to eat that because, it could, I don't know what it is, and it might be, contaminated or might have germs on it or whatever. And we're like, oh, never mind. Here, let me get you something else instead of, nope, this is, you can eat this. It might have some germs on it,
It's a
but
great
we're,
example.
yeah,
It's a great example. I've worked with so many OCD cases.
you have.
Contamination is a big one, and it's if you grow up every time before you take a bite, you ask mom or dad, "Is this safe to eat?" And they say
Yeah.
yes. Well, that's
Because
fine
they
when
want
you're
to,
living at home,
right.
but good luck at your first sleepover. Good luck when you go to college. You're. I don't
Or
think it's
in
socially
the
acceptable
cafeteria. Yeah.
or socially effective to say, "Hey, pal, sixth grade friend, can you make sure my food isn't contaminated?" Of course, you're not going to do that. Which
But as
can,
a parent who is trying to feed your child, make sure they are nourished, it's a real pull because you're like, well, they need to eat, so I should just reassure them there's no germs on it. I'll taste it first. That's okay. It starts to
Mhm.
balloon and spiral. Can you say
Yeah.
more about how our impulses as parents, because we want to protect them, we want to feed them, can actually like feed into, even though we don't mean to do it?
Well, I mean, it's it's going to it's going to end up spiraling for that very reason, because then now there's just a straight dependency. That's really what it comes down to. And it's no fault of the parents, right? Again, there's no manual for this. Parents,
It's what
reassurance
our
doesn't
brains
seem like
want
a
to
sneaky
do.
thing. It doesn't
Right.
seem like a sneaky thing, but as a very anxious person who grew up a very anxious child, who grew up, and who's worked with a lot of anxious children, that reassurance is addicting. And if you don't get that dose of reassurance, that kid will spiral, which will cause you to spiral. And then you're going to be tired. And then you're going to choose not to pick that battle anymore. And you're just going to reassure because it's easy. And you're
Too
a tired,
tired.
burnt out parent.
And the child will eat. And
And
what we're reinforcing here, I think harkening back to what you said, is we're reinforcing a loop in the brain that's not your child. And
yes.
it's not you either. It's
No.
reinforcing a loop that is problematic. And you think that like if I just reassure them enough, they will finally get the message and they'll be able to eat. But when in fact you're reassuring the loop in the brain that is like it's dangerous and I have to have dad taste this. I have to have my aunt taste this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And this is not just kids and parents.
Oh
This
no.
is this. There's there are people 100 years old that are doing this.
Yes.
The amount of college kids that it's so hard for them to press send on an essay because they need someone to say, can you read this? Can you read this? Can you make sure it's
I
good?
need
Can you make sure
this.
it's good? And then now
Yes.
suddenly we're talking about perfectionism, and we're talking
Yes. And missed
procrastination, and
deadlines.
we're missing deadlines.
And parents
The
are
amount of
writing in and
corporate, yeah.
saying, my child is sick and they can't hit this deadline. Yes.
Yeah, we can, believe it or not, there's work there that we can fight through that bully in our brain that's saying it's not good enough, it's contaminated, don't hit send. We can work through that. We can prove it wrong and say, I'm going to hit send and see what happens without this reassurance. And when you get a passing grade, heaven forbid an A, it's important for us. And the catchphrase of mine, you look at that line, you say, I told you so. You were wrong. You were
You're
wrong.
telling that loop. I told you
And
so.
it's breaking that loop. And it takes time. It's not
It
going to happen
does.
automatically. It's a
It
practice.
doesn't.
But
Yeah.
if we can start it with parents and younger kids, that chain is getting broken much quicker, much easier, and it's going to make life down the line for everyone so much easier.